He's drinking again, and you don't want to say that.
I have no idea.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny Murphy.
And I'm Evan Real.
And PK didn't write in a statement for this recap, but he did write one in for part one of the Beverly Hills reunion.
He said, I was invited to be part of the reunion, but declined because I don't believe engaging with Dorit in this forum would be constructive.
And what a statement it was. It was giving graphs on graphs on all the paragraphs.
It was a Luann statement necklace in written form because It really carried a lot of weight. And he wanted to clear his name a little bit. Are you shocked, before we get into the statement, that he turned down going to the reunion?
I mean, not really. I do think that, like Dorit alluded to during the reunion, I do feel like PK likes the fame and the glitz and the glam.
You know, he loves all of this. He loves when people come up and they ask for a picture.
But I don't think he would like the line of questioning that would come his way had he participated in this reunion. So he decided to send his statement necklace paragraph instead.
And he was talking about a lot of truth, saying that he doesn't know the Dorit that is happening now, and he misses the Dorit that he loved.
The Dorit I married would never have allowed this, much less caused it. I can only hope this version of Dorit finds her way back to the person she once was.
And also the main issue was that he didn't like the false characterization of him being a bad parent or father.
Yeah, which, I mean, look, I can understand that, but then it didn't seem to penetrate Dorit's spirit at all, because then she continued to say things that sort of seemed to substantiate her claim that he might not be the most present father, because apparently he only sees his kids on Saturdays.
Saturday night?
How often is he seeing the kids?
He sees them on Saturday night, if he's in town.
Like he's Lorne Michaels. Right. He sees them Saturday night live, but then otherwise they're just there for an hour and a half. Yeah.
When he has time.
Then he's in God's country.
Yeah. So
that
I don't
was
know.
very interesting to me. And also I was shocked that it was a Saturday night, because the other revelation
is that
that he might not, well, as Katy Perry would parody, just because you're sober doesn't mean you're really sober. Because that was kind of the shock. Dorit was dancing around it. But then leave it to Erica Jane to kind of flat out ask, wait, is he not sober?
So I couldn't answer that.
So,
Is he not sober?
I guess not.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of like, is that what you're alluding to? And Dorit's like, can't comment. But
she said that PK won't discuss it with her, so she didn't feel at liberty to discuss it at the reunion, because I guess there isn't really an update. But the I don't know, the fact that there was no update seems like that's the update.
Yeah.
If we don't know he's sober, he might not be.
might not be. So who knows? So something tells me PK, if he hasn't already released a statement about it, because we're recording this a little bit before the episode airs, I'm sure an Instagram statement will come.
Yes.
From this. I also am wondering, do you think Garcelle's going to release any statements about the Beverly Hills reunion, or is she already like, I wonder, because it's either that or she's like, if I'm not getting paid, who's Erica and who's Dorit?
I can't have an opinion. I can't say how I feel. I just have to go along just to go along. Everybody can go themselves. I don't care.
I think the latter. I think that after her Instagram announcement that she's departing the series came out, where it was very much like, happy-go-lucky, sing a happy song, I'm leaving to film more movies and focus on my da-da-da-da-da. And then we come to find out that she stormed off at the reunion. Bose and Erica are in a weird place with her. Like, clearly there was something more contentious that happened amidst her departure. I don't think she's going to be interacting with the reunion at all. And
because I almost was like, oh my God, is a storm off in part one? But she didn't have a storm off. She kind of had like a huff during the lunch break of like, I didn't know I was going to be the bad guy here.
I thought Sutton was going to be in the hot seat. I didn't realize I was going to be in the hot seat. Jesus Christ.
Which also surprised me. I didn't expect them to have all eyes on Garcelle.
Yeah,
because I thought it was going to be all eyes on Sutton.
And I feel like what kind of paved the way for it to be all eyes on Garcelle were the conversations sort of happening around Sutton, and then also Garcelle's energy towards Sutton was a little cold. Like, even when her dress got caught on Sutton's dress.
I didn't do all that. That was done to us. Besides,
you're stuck together.
Exactly, you're
See?
stuck together. I'm trying to keep my hands to myself.
Right there.
That's why
Example.
I'm just trying to keep my
There you
hands to
go.
myself.
She didn't want it to be caught, and then the whole group was making a joke like, "Ha ha ha! You can't get away from her." And I just the vibe that I'm catching from Garcelle is that she wants to get away from Sutton.
I feel like she just wants. I think sitting down for the reunion is when Garcelle's like, "This is gonna be my last time at a reunion couch."
Yeah,
Because there's even moments where you could tell while like her and Kyle are going back and forth. There was one moment Garcelle like looks up at the sky like, what am I gonna do after this? She's like, I can't wait to not go back and forth about a girl named Morgan.
Yeah, she seemed to be very checked out. And meanwhile, I felt like Kyle was very much dialed in, and I felt like Kyle was making a lot of really great points.
Which
you know
ones?
what I mean? Just that Garcelle kept poking and prodding her about the Morgan of it all.
And all of a sudden, this year, it was like, you weren't going to bring her up. But then there's pictures in the press, there's this in the press, and we're not allowed, we're just supposed to pretend that that's not happening? Is that
it's not
reality?
that.
Clearly, she didn't want to share. And then I forgot how just blatant her lesbian comment was at Chuck E. Cheese.
I thought that was, they all laughed.
And I was being completely genuine. Be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. And then you went on the after show and you were like, she's a f***ing asshole.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it through the potentially closeted experience, it's not.
And I wonder too if they were clouded because I don't know what the off-camera chess statement they made.
I think that Kyle wants to protect Morgan.
That's not what you said. You said that was a chess move.
What do you think about that?
I mean, obviously,
I'm assuming
Kyle.
it's about Morgan.
Kyle was very much hurt by that to hear that Sutton spoke about her that way.
And also the fact that Sutton was like, Garcelle's like, what did you say, Sutton? And Sutton's like, I just said, I hope everyone's happy. And Garcelle's like, you said it was Jess.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I feel like Garcelle felt very isolated in being the only one to be getting in the lesbianic drama messy moment. She was like, Sutton, you were right there with me. So yeah, Sutton, I feel like she's flipped and flopped a little bit, but eventually figured out that she wants to flip and flop on the side of being friends with
It's
Kyle.
interesting. The only people that I feel want to question Kyle about Morgan is Garcelle and Andy. Because
Yeah.
isn't there clips that come Andy's like, well, you were in the music video. So there is an interesting elephant in the room there.
I just feel so bad for Kyle. Like it just.
I feel bad for her. I also don't care about Morgan Wade, and not in a way. In a way where I'm like,
I think there are
hope
much.
she's playing guitar happily or whatever. I'm like,
Right.
oh,
I think there are much more interesting facets of Kyle's life aside from
I'd rather
Morgan
know
of
when
it
is
all.
the update on the divorce.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know if she'd want to be on the couch next to me because I'd be like, why aren't you signing papers to her and Dorit?
Yeah, I know. Well, and then Dorit, when she was questioned about the likelihood of she and PK getting back together, she was basically saying like it's not going to happen. So I don't understand why the papers haven't been drawn up. Because I'm ready for dating Dorit. I'm ready for Dorit on Love Hotel season 2. Imagine how fun that would be.
That'd be fun. A little chain smoking in the love.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that'd be a moment.
Do you believe that she was just a social smoker?
I have been a social smoker. And I think that especially the last few years,
Right.
with what's been going on,
She turned into a stress smoker.
yeah,
Stress smoking.
became
Yeah.
stress smoker.
Yeah.
She said she was a social smoker.
Yeah.
Not Dorit.
She said during the separation it turned
Well,
into
she's a social
stress
person.
smoker. So I don't know. I
feel she's a social person in the sense like she's driving like on a freeway. She's like, well, there's someone next to me in a car. There's someone with me socially.
Right.
I think she's been lighting up. And also, there's been paparazzi pictures of her smoking alone. A lot of times.
It was interesting that Kyle said you probably thought they were never going to use that footage because I guess when they're in the car, they probably film so much in the car that they just figure, only 0.5% of this will ever get used. And then Erica's take was, I think of every moment as if it's going
could assume that
to be
too.
used. And then Dorit was like,
Because that's why I kept on going back and forth on the wallpaper. Every second's being used.
but Dorit, I guess, in that moment just didn't care.
I know.
We saw her smoking, and then it turned out to be the biggest hit of her meme career on Housewives.
Know, it really did set her off. I also Erica really set off Garcelle when she, and I wonder what all the ladies are going to think about her on the Sutton couch. Where she's like, sorry, I didn't marry a criminal. I didn't marry for money. I wasn't born with a silver spoon, all this stuff. And I seeing her that revved up to go back in for part 2, I now see why she ended up storming off.
Yeah. So are you team Garcelle or team Erica or team I don't care?
I'm team, I'm team let them do what they want. If Garcelle wants to storm off, do that. And also it's a fight where Erica was like saying that she was boring, and I got Garcelle's point. She's like, I got divorced before the show came out, so I can't really like advocate my divorce.
Right. And
then people are like, you're not showing the date. Where I think it's also, I feel like if almost like they were like rattling off how like not interested they were in Garcelle, where she's kind of like, okay, then I won't. And then she probably was like, okay, you want your interesting next season to like, keep on coming at me? Go be interesting. I don't want to do this anymore. So I really understand where she's coming from with that. Because it was an interesting season for Erica to come at her with that statement.
Well, it was not inaccurate.
I know, but people are saying like it was Erica's most interesting season.
Somehow, Erica, I feel like she captured the fandom this season.
Oh, gotta refresh the app. Okay.
No, I
don't know.
I do feel like people were standing a bit more for Erica than they have before in a minute. Because it seemed like she was just sort of in a fun, fancy-free energy.
Supporting character type of thing.
Yeah, like she played her part very well as a supporting character. I feel like Garcelle got lost in the lesbianic sauce and she wasn't vibing with Sutton. And I feel like so much of Garcelle's love from the fandom comes from her friendship with Sutton as like the dynamic duo. Do you know what I mean?
That's where I like the really realistic, like how I feel Garcelle's almost saying is like, if this is, I want to be real in a reality show. She's like, I actually now don't really love any person on the, like that I'm around. Good night.
I think there's an expiration date for everyone.
And again, she was on it for 5 years. That's actually a long time to be on a reality show.
Yeah, she had a good run.
And then we have Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton next week chewing gum. Fabulous.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be
I'm
that'll be great.
They're gonna add into the mix. I can't wait for Kathy to make the reveal that she told her daughter she was a lesbian, because that's in the
Which honestly, I love that. Can you imagine Kathy Hilton sitting down with Paris and Nikki and being like, girls, I think
Ellen, yep, I'm gay.
Yeah, literally. I thought that was so sweet. I don't think Kyle really loved that.
I could not imagine.
But I felt like her heart was in the right place. But now all I can think about is Kathy Hilton, yep, I'm gay, on the cover of Time magazine.
Well, I hope she recreated that spread and that's how she found out. Yes. I mean, who knows?
She hands copies to Paris and Nikki.
Signed.
Can you? Paris would be like, yes. And Nikki's probably like, Mom, what?
Nikki's like, I gotta go. Nikki's on a plane back to New York. But I know, I'm excited to see what the ladies get into next week, because everyone seems revved up. And no one really seems to be liking each other too much. Besides Bose and Dorit.
Yeah, Bose and Dorit are good. Everyone else is a little off kilter.
Yeah, so let's see what happens next week.